Hey guys, it's Amber and welcome to day 29. As you can see, I'm starting right in on working on the back of my day 28 two-page spread. So I have another full-size photo here. We, on the next day, went to the Neon Museum in Vegas where all the old signs go, which is actually pretty cool. I've always wanted to go there. So I'm just attaching those, and as you can see, printing from home is never an exact science, so just trimming the edges off a little bit because it's a little bit wider than the other one. So I believe this is the full size of the page protector, which is 7.5 by 8.25. I'm just getting it trimmed up. And pulling out my punch to re-punch the holes a little bit. There must have been something that was a little bit off when I put the two together. So it's just nice and clean holes. So just pulling out my trash a little bit there. And then I'm going to start by working on my number. So I'm going to add my number 29 in the upper left-hand corner there. And as you can see above the photo, I have a few puffy stars set aside. The white on the white clouds kind of hides a little bit, and I'm just trying to do a little something to jazz up that number. So I'm going to place the stars sort of around it. And I peeled off all the layers so it's not quite so thick. And I left them on the backing so I can sort of play a little bit with their placement. And I just have a little bit of a variety of colors to kind of help just brighten up that little corner so it's not so boring. So it's just a big blown up of the Hard Rock sign, which was kind of fun. Seemed very Vegas-y. And it's one of the first things we did that day. So I just started the layout out there. As you can see, I'm using my paper piercer to help me attach them where I want to go. It's one of my favorite tools for using with sticky objects like that. And I pulled it a little bit closer there to see something and then reattached it. So that simple page is all done. Now I'm going to be working on a 3x8 insert. This is a 2-pocket 3x4 page protector. And what I'm doing right now is taking a piece of clear acetate and cutting it down to 3x4. What I'm going to be doing is making a faux 2x3 pocket that will look clear. I like to save my scraps from when I'm making transparencies or clear pages for exactly this kind of stuff. And what I'm going to do is leave the top pocket is the full 3x4 photo size. In the bottom I have a 2x3 printed. And I'm going to have that chipboard be like a see-through piece. So it's going to look like a see-through pocket, which I think will look kind of cool. But it's still in the 3x4 pocket size. So what I'm doing there, I had a quote. It was like an add-on for maybe one little word or December stuff. And I really wanted to use it, but it just wasn't the right sizing and couldn't find a good place for it. So I was kind of just digging through my stash really quickly there for some other options. Considered making that a hexagon and cutting out the quote, or looking at that circular sticker, and neither of those ended up being something that I worked with, but I kind of just set them aside while I thought about it. And I pulled out a different card that was from one of the HSN add-on kits. So it says, "Thank you for these December memories," and it's a nice dark black because there's a lot of dark going on in the photos. So just kind of thinking about where I might put more puffy stars, or maybe anything I might add on to the back of that chipboard piece. So now that my decision's made, I'm actually going to finish building the rest of this. So I'm going to attach the photo to the very bottom of that clear piece. And then that little scrap of star paper that you see laying there is going to be on the background. I didn't have another photo, but I didn't want to make it a full, completely see-through 3x4 pocket because I could have put the photo on the other side, but this way I get to use some embellishments and play around a little bit and make it more fun. So I'm just trimming off some nice clean edges there to 2x3. And I'm just lining it up with the photo. Probably, I think I realized it was a little too big and I trimmed off a little bit more, which may have been off camera. So I'm just going to attach that down to the back. And then that travel hexagon piece was perfect. It was from last year's travel kit in 2019 from Ali Edwards, but the theme this year kind of seemed to be hexagons for my album. So what I'm doing is peeling the backing off. I was about to start to hold it up to the paper and cut out a replacement piece for the other side, and then I realized I could use the backing for that. So I'm just using my piercer to put it in place where I'd like it to go. And then I'm taking that backing and I'm going to use that to cut a piece of cardstock to the exact size for the opposite side, just so I'm covering up that chipboard looking color. So I apologize because that's mostly off camera. I'm just trimming the edges a little bit, making the corners a tiny bit rounded because the chipboard was. And then I'm going to glue that right down. And I'm actually really happy with the way this little pocket came out. I think it came out really cute. So I'm going to put a puffy sticker star on top of that. So there'll be some on the left-hand side and then some on the opposite of this when it's flipped over. And the pictures on the right-hand side are of us in Fremont Street. I don't label the photo or anything because I think it's in my journaling. And then the top photo, we were at a special casino to try to win something called Silver Strikes, which are like specialty coins from like old school Vegas. My boyfriend wanted to try to win some, so we were there visiting this casino on Fremont Street so that he could do that. And I'm just gluing the photos back to back for the top. It's actually a photo and a filler card, actually. So that insert is totally ready to go. I believe now I'm going to grab, some sticker tabs, and I'm just trying to decide which one to put on there. I'm kind of holding up the colors to see what sentiment or color will go well with it so that you can tell that it's an insert. And I didn't like any of the ones on there, so I'm grabbing 2 different sheets here. And I believe the one I end up going with is the white and red sheet. And I think I picked one that says Joy. I can't read it from here, but just sticking that on there where the clear part is and using a tiny attacher then to staple that right on there for security. I never trust those when they're on the very edge of a page protector like that. I always reinforce it with a staple. So you'll see me do that here in just 1 second. Okay, and then now my insert's ready to go. So I'm gonna start working on my journaling here. I love these cards from last year's kit with the really scripty writing from Ali. And, oh, actually, no, I'm gonna work on these letter stickers. So I'm just grabbing these silver metallic looking stickers from Chamel, which are really cute, and just spelling out lucky because he wants some of the silver strikes and he's holding them in that photo. And because they're silver and I'm wearing a gray sweater in the photo, I just thought that the silver stickers would look really fun. And they're nice and small and fit right at the bottom there. So, getting those all in place. Just pushing them down a little bit with my paper piercer. I kind of rolled it like a rolling pin. So I'm setting that aside and putting my stickers back in really quickly. And then I'm going to grab my Slick Writer, and I always test it out. And then I'm going to write my journaling, just talking about our day, where we were, and just little snippets there to make it easy. So another simple page done, except I wanted to add one more puffy sticker. So I'm just kind of deciding what color will go or what size, where I could position it. Just to help spread the stars out throughout the multi-page layout here. So just kind of playing with my placement. Saying what I think, and I think I actually pull it up and change my mind and put it towards the top there. And then I completely change my mind and go with a different color. and decided to sort of stick with that one. I believe is my final decision. Alrighty, so the next, or I should say the last step here is going to be just working on the back side of that protector. So we went to dinner at a dim sum restaurant at the Paris Casino, and it was like my first time having dim sum, so we just have a picture of the food, a picture of me eating, and this is going to be the simplest layout in the world. So I'm taking these super cute puffy stickers from Felicity Jane, and I'm just going to write out dim sum, and then use the label sticker for my journaling just to put a tiny little note there. So usually I start with my middle letter, but because the M is so large, I kind of was able to visually line it up left to right by starting with the S, but I definitely started with the bottom word first. And the label sticker is not actually attached down. I just have it there for placement. But the reason I'm leaving all of this part of my video in is to show you how much I use this paper piercer. So these letters are pretty flexible. So they're kind of stretching out a little bit as I put them down, but I use my piercer to kind of put it back in place, or like my eye gets on there a little crooked, so I'm able to use it to like help line it up and keep it straight, move things all around. It's especially helpful when I'm using it to put the dot on the eye because it's really tiny. If I was using my fingers, it'd be dropping it or putting it in the wrong spot. So just, I've used this for years. I really love a tool like this to help me with placement. And just kind of helps keep your fingers out of the way. I just use my fingers to help smooth everything down and put it in place once I'm ready. But I only stick the bottom half of the letter on so that when I'm ready to move, the whole thing is not on there. I've had paper rip before, so I just stick the bottom on, and once I'm sure that that's where my placement's going to go, then I smooth everything down with a little bit more pressure. All right, so now I am grabbing my label sticker and getting ready to write on it. So I'm grabbing my slick writer, starting it with a little scratch paper there, and just adding a really simple note with some journaling about what we were eating and where. And grabbing my tape runner, and it just happened to run out right as I was trying to do that. So I do grab another one, and kind of showing you how quickly and easily those Gina K runners are to replace. You literally pull out the other one, pop a new one back in, you are ready to go to start all over again. So getting my rolling adhesive down, positioning it, and taking a look to see what I think. So again, I didn't even add any embellishments to this. Very, very simple page and layout.